The blend image function found within the built-ins, the shaders tab, and the filter folder allows us to blend textures or blend images together to create a certain look. So to use this, we can use it actually with textures on a primitive or standalone textures. So we're going to go back into our primitives here, and I'm just going to drag a rectangle down, and we're going to map some images to this. And I'm going to go into my server, grab some type of image here that we want to use. So we'll just use a picture of the George Washington Bridge, and we'll drag it onto our rectangle. So I'm not too worried about how it actually lines up, but I will just increase this a little bit. And I'm going to go back into my built-ins and my shaders tab and drag this blend image onto the container. And you can see when I do that how it automatically adjusts this. So when I click on the blend image, you can see that we have these options here under mode. It says blend, darken, light, and multiply screen. So this is the closest thing that we have to Photoshop or After Effects in using the light lighters, and that they're all pretty much comparable to the same things. So as we come in here into the mode and start changing these as is, you can see how it affects this image. So if we needed hard light, soft light, overlay, color dodge, color burn, each one affects it a little bit differently. Furthermore, if we wanted to add some type of color or some more blending to this, we could actually come over here into our server and select another image. So I'm going to use this blue clouds image and drag this into our image box. And once I do that, now it's kind of starting to combine both of these images. And as I come down through my mode again, and as I select each mode here, you can see how it affects the images now. So if I click through each one of these, it affects it a little bit differently, and I'm just going to find one that I want to use here. So for instance, we'll just use the hard light at the moment. And what's more, besides just the modes and the images that you can use, is that you have the blends. So it's set to 50% by default. If we take it all the way down, you don't see the cloud image anymore, but if we take it all the way up, you see more of the cloud image. We also have a position X, so I can move this position X left or right. I can move the position Y up or down. We also have a scale X and a scale Y, and it's actually moving the image that we have in the image box and not the image on the container. There is a wrap button which is set to repeat by default. We can also change this to clamp. Now with our image set in the box, we can still come back into our image on the container and come into the image editor this way and still make adjustments on this. So if we wanted to change the mapping from linear to vertex or to reflection, we can still do that. So depending what type of images you use, not only on your container, but the actual image that's within this image box, this is what's going to determine how it blends or what your final output looks like.